today we are discussing a very interesting topic, which is jewelry designing. And we have Sachin Jain, who's joining us from Dubai. Hi, Sachin, how are you?
Hey Sandeep, thank you. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for this
So
opportunity.
if we look at excellent, it's a pleasure having you. And Sachin, if I look at your journey, it's been a very interesting journey. I what I see is as a kid, you were fascinated with drawing and sketching. And while you were studying management, you realized that your passion lies in a very artistic craft that is designing. And then you were introduced to the world of jewelry designing, and you never looked back. It is very firstly it is very interesting that you found your passion at a young age, at least when you were studying management. A lot of people, even when they're 40, 50, they're still struggling to understand where their interests lie or how to pursue their passion. And you took that immediate jump from studying management to growing, to diversifying your learning into jewelry designing. And today you have your own company, which is called Jonas Jewels, which you've been running for the last 6 years in UAE.
Yeah.
So tell us something about your journey in your own words. How did you take this decision? How did you identify your passion, and where do you stand today?
I had a very interesting journey, and the journey still continue. I would say. I was when I was a kid, I was always drawing some sketches, the flowers and the animals and everything. And while I was studying my management, my bachelor's, and I started learning jewelry designing. While I was learning jewelry designing, I found out about the gemstones and the diamonds, and then I understood that okay, this is what I like to do, because a child, I'm a born artist, so jewelry designing was easy for me. And with the jewelry designing, I studied about gemstones, I studied gemology, and I studied about the diamonds. And I started working with a few companies, and I moved to Dubai. And I worked here for 2 years with the company, and I learned a lot from there with the manufacturing. And after that, I started working as a freelancer. I was working with different brands and different individual people. I was doing some projects with them. And a few years ago, like let's say 5, 6 years ago, I started my own company, Jonas Jewels, and at Jonas Jewels we do designing and jewelry manufacturing, and also we do trading. And with that, I always had a passion to share my knowledge, like what I gained all the years. And 3 years ago, I started teaching with the Dubai International Art Center and another art center, jewelry designing. And it's been a very good journey with all these years, and it's going very well. And I'm very happy that I found my passion, and this is it's perfect for me. It suits very well for me. Yeah.
Very, very interesting. What I really appreciate is that at a young age, you realize that it is important to give back. You've learned skills, you've learned the knowledge, you have the experience, and people can learn from what you have gained over the years. So this is really commendable. And for a lot of people who may be thinking of a career in the field of jewelry designing, what does the entire landscape look like? Somebody may be interested, may not be studying, or maybe studying. What does the future look like for them, and what are the opportunities that are available for people who are interested or fascinated by the subject of jewelry designing?
Well, for jewelry designing, it's not only the subject as a just a designing. If you are just a designer, you are in a very small working in a very small area. But you have to learn like everything. One needs to learn with the designing, needs to learn about the gemstones and about the diamonds and about manufacturing, because everything is connected. Yeah, you can be a good designer, but if you don't know the about the gemstone and about the manufacturing, then there will be somewhere lack in your work. So not to keep that lag, you need to learn all the points, all the topics which are connected to each other. And also jewelry designing, it's a very architectural uh, uh, concept. So you have like techniques, and you have a particular way of drawing and sketching uh, and illustration. So all you need to learn, and with the knowledge of gemstones, you have a bigger field. You can be working as a jewelry designer, and doing the manufacturing also. And if you have skills to manufacture your own product, that is nothing like that. And the market is a very good, because you are designing also, you are manufacturing also, so you are giving uh, everything on one platform to your client or people who are working with you. Yeah.
And you yourself, Sachin, you started working for somebody. You were in a job, and then you were heading their design unit, and then you decided, that to start your own company, that is Jonas Jewels. How's the journey been, and how's the transition been?
So I moved to Dubai, and I was very new. It was a international market, and Dubai is a big market for jewelry. And for me, it was a very first time exposure in international market. I didn't know anything about the international market, so I joined a company and I worked with them for 2 years, and I got a good exposure from there. I was taking care of manufacturing and coordinating with the goldsmiths and the designers, and I was doing designing with the CAD and manually both. So I gained good experience from there. And after 2 years, I was almost like, no, there's no more growth working there. So I started, as I said earlier, as a freelancer. And I got a good, I've been lucky, I would say. So I got a good push up from people around me. And definitely my skills added a lot of value for my work. And uh, I'm still continuing the same. Yeah.
Interesting. And now we are launching a course along with you on the edVentr platform, which is a short 3-hour introductory course on jewelry designing. So tell us something about the course. Why should someone attend, and what will be the content of the same?
Okay, yeah. If somebody is creative, so first of all, a person needs to decide if whether they want to be in this field. That is the most important. And then, if they are creative and they have the ideas and a little bit of skills of uh, sketching and all, so they can start this program. And with this program, uh, I have made a program away a very new person who doesn't know anything about the jewelry or about jewelry designing. They can learn a lot from this program. So I have made a program away. Uh, they can start from like from A to go to till the Z. So after completing this program, they can be completely standing, and they can be stand in the market as a jewelry designer. They will learn from the basics of jewelry designing, sketching, and bringing out the concept, what they have in their mind. They can put that on the paper, and people, they can explain to the people about their concept. And the continue, they can learn about the manufacturing, and then they can be sourcing out for their design to manufacture their product. And if they want to do continuation, they can learn about the gemstone, which is always plus with the designing. And I would say that it's very important to learn about the gemstones and the diamonds uh, with the jewelry designing. Yeah.
Interesting, interesting. So you're in the hotspot, of the global jewelry. I would call it the trade route. I mean, you've got Antwerp, you've got Dubai, you've got Mumbai and Surat in India. and these are some of the important centers. And then I believe a lot of the, I mean, for
New York,
diamonds, a lot of the diamonds are found in
yeah,
Africa.
New York and Hong Kong also very important place for the jewelry. Yeah.
Exactly. So how's the overall jewelry sector performing right now? With the overall pandemic, and what is the overall economic, what is the impact of the overall economic situation on the jewelry sector?
See, jewelry is jewelry. So we say jewelry business gets affected first if anything is happening in the world, and get recovered at the last. So we have a very short time uh, to work and make some good business. But it's a very good market. All the places you mentioned just now, they are the prime for jewelry business. And the major jewelry business is moving around in these cities, or I would say in the countries. And Dubai is one of the a very prime hub for diamonds and gold, and because it's connected to the rest of the world very easily. The connectivity is very good, and the facilities what we have here are very good. So Dubai is promoting a lot for the jewelry business, and definitely for the fresheners. It's very easy here to set up a business and start any business. We talk about the jewelry business. It's not, I would say, not doing so great at the moment as any other business in the world because of the situation. Uh, but there is a lot of movement started. I would say past month, and it's coming back on the track with the new requirements. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Definitely. I think people have learned the new way of working. They found ways and means of countering the challenges, and identified opportunities within. Now, I know, anything that has to do with art. A lot of the art also comes from the culture, or the place that people reside in, or the heritage that the place has to offer. Now, these are the key economic sectors, that you mentioned. But again, I mean, we are reaching out to a broader audience, where people from Mauritius, let's say, for example, will be joining in the course. And any sort of art is a good way to reflect your own culture. So, I mean, whether it is Mauritius, whether it is some part of Africa, or whether it is any other country in the Middle East or Southeast Asia, through design you can reflect your own culture, right?
Yeah.
And to what extent is it possible in jewelry designing, and is it happening? Like, do we see designs from different countries trying to reflect a completely different culture through what they are bringing out as a product?
Yeah, totally, Sandeep. The culture is the biggest uh, uh, biggest concept, I would say, to create any sort of design. Not only jewelry, I would say, as in any design concept. If you talk about the culture comes the first. So I had a very good experience sharing my knowledge with the different people from the different culture. I had students from definitely Middle East, and a lot of students from China and from India, from Egypt, and from Europe. And everybody, they have their own different style of working and different ideas, totally, completely different concept. And the culture helps a lot of them. So people from China, they design their own style of. I mean, you could see the the style of working, and you can say, yeah, it's a totally different. People from Middle East, they do more on Arabic style of designs, and like the calligraphy style, or I would say more of historical uh, way of the designing. And people from France, I had students, and they were doing more modern sort of design. So it's a very interesting to see different work, and everybody's different idea. So culture plays a big role to when it comes with the designing. I myself, I'm lucky to have different students from different culture. So I get mix of concept on my work, you know. So it's helping me a lot to bring out something different and some conceptual work a lot. Yeah.
Exactly. So being a jewelry designer, Sachin, how do you draw your inspiration? Let's say you have to come up with a new design. I mean, what's your approach?
So there are a few key points. So if I'm working for someone, uh, I have a project, so it becomes very easy for me to, because I get the key points. I have a area to work with, right? So I have few particular things which I have to work with. So I don't have to think a lot or plan a lot to come up with the design, because my half homework is done. It's provided by the client. So I work accordingly. On the other side, then I'm doing my own concept and my own design. So I'm totally free. The sky is the limit. So I create a, a very unusual pieces, and it's like it's a very big platform to work, and the imagination is the limit to work with such designs.
Also, that's okay. Mentioned that jewelry designing is one aspect, but for anybody who's wanting to get into this business, it's important to understand the other aspects. I mean, the other
Actually, I
aspects
can.
would be designing, then manufacturing. Who are the key players in manufacturing, and how does the entire trade happen? So my first question is,
Sorry,
who are the key stakeholders in this entire business?
sorry, I'm cutting your voice off, son.
Can you hear me?
Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Am I
yeah,
audible?
yeah, it's good.
Right. So you said that in, I mean, in the entire jewelry business, it is important to understand all the aspects. Even if you want to become a jewelry designer, it is important that we understand the process of manufacturing, what is the process of distribution, what does the global trade scenario look like, to have a holistic picture. When otherwise you'll be operating in one particular silo. So if we look at this entire process, who are the key stakeholders in the jewelry business? I mean, from designing to manufacturing, you mentioned goldsmiths. So who are the key players that you need to work with as a jewelry designer?
So the key player are definitely the person who's bringing out the concept, who's designing, is definitely very important. With that, you have to have a very good team of a goldsmith, like who can understand your design and concept. They can work according to your style, and because the goldsmith plays a big role. You can create a very nice design, a very new concept, but if a goldsmith is not well-to-do, and he doesn't understand the design and the concept, it can't be manufactured the way you want. So there will be a lack of the product is not going to be nice. With that, the supplier of the gemstones, if you are using some gemstones in your designs, so you need to have a good supplier, so that you can give a best product with the best prices, because there is a lot of competition in jewelry field as well. So you need to have a very good idea. You need to have a very good craftsmanship, and you need to have a very good pricing. For the pricing, you need to have your sourcing very strong and very uh, uh, reasonable from the others, in order to stand strong. So I would say the major important is your manufacturer, who's going to manufacture your product, and by yourself, like bringing out the new concept and the design.
Very interesting. This is indeed a very amazing world. The world of jewelry, right
Yeah,
from the
totally.
part of procuring the raw material to designing to creating the entire craft. There's there's a team of people who work. I've seen, some of the videos how people do the polishing in Surat in Gujarat, India,
That's a polishing
or
for the
cutting,
rough diamonds, cutting and polishing both. Yeah.
cutting and polishing of rough diamond, just as an example, and how the entire world trade operates. But at the same time, it's indeed a very very interesting topic.
I can't hear you. Sorry.
And I'm sure, I myself I'm keen to learn, and for all our users and viewers who are watching, we will soon be launching a course along with Sachin on the basics of jewelry design. The live workshop will be this Saturday, so anybody who wants to tune in can register. And Sachin, any closing remarks?
Um, well, I would say it's a very interesting field. Jewelry design is it's I would say it's a soul for the body. Like if you have some any kind of a stone, it's not important the stone needs to be $1 million. The stone can be just a few $100s, but your design work, your creativity can make it for as worth as a millions, so creativity is very important, and who are passionate to create something new and who love the nature, they can do a great job with this field. Yeah, I would say that.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Sachin. It was a pleasure interacting with you. We
Same
look
here.
forward to your workshop and course on adventure.
Looking forward to see you.